Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue, proud sponsor of Marion County High School football.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. Let's go right out to the hotline and bring on Buddy Martin. Buddy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom. How are you this morning?
Wonderful, buddy. Getting ready for some football tomorrow. Hall of Fame induction is today. Football tomorrow. So it really is back tomorrow. Helmets and shoulder pads hitting each other.
I think something chemically happens to us this time of the year, because I woke up this morning at 3 o'clock or so and wandered out and got my iPhone, started thumbing through the various things, schedules, and I made my commitment this morning that I'm going to be at that opening game in Charlotte, North Carolina on the Thursday the 3rd of September, when the South Carolina Gamecocks and the North Carolina Tar Heels kick it off to start the 2015 season, because it's the Battle of the Carolinas, and of course such a big ball game for so many ways for both teams. And you ordinarily say, well, yeah, no big deal, but it is two border rivals. They don't play that much. They ought to play every year. And then you've got that Thursday night game, which is always good on ESPN. Got the ball coach involved. The Tar Heels got a new defensive coordinator who's pretty good, Gene Chizik. He's pretty well, like Spurrier said the other day, his track record is good when it comes to defense. So they're better. And Larry Fedora is able to get off a lot of plays I think they led the nation last year in number of plays they got off. So I started thinking, this looks pretty good to me. So I'm booking my ticket for that on a trip back to seeing the grandkids. And I'll be back in time for the opener, New Mexico State at the Swamp, and the Jim McElwain era when it begins. So it's on, Tom. It's on.
It is on, buddy. Tough news, though, out of Gainesville today. I was reading Mark Long. Actually, yesterday I was reading Mark Long's post out of from the AP. Antonio Morrison, spectator at Florida's first preseason practice. It may be a role he has to get used to this fall, as there's no time frame from him coming back from his injury. He led Florida with 101 tackles last year. This is going to be a big loss for that defense if Morrison's not able to go.
Well, McElwain addressed that in his press conference, which I'm sure where Mark got a lot of it from when I was there on Wednesday. And he talked about the incredible role of leadership that Antonio Morrison had in the formation of his team. That he said he makes no projections about when he'll play or if he'll play this year or whatever, but he says his presence and the amount of work he's put in has so impressed the new kids there that he's already had an impact on the team. And he said whenever he gets him back, whenever that is, it'll be a big plus. I don't think it's anything new. I don't think it's anything. We all knew that he was injured, wouldn't play the opening game, but he's on the clock. We'll see. It's probably at some point will become day to day, but he's the guy they need in that middle. He personifies middle linebacker to me. I think in the past they've had good middle linebackers from time to time, but Tom, you played the position. You lead that defense when you're the middle linebacker. The Mike guy is the guy who calls the signals out, and he's there to either rush the passer or drop back. He's kind of a guy that has the heart and soul of that defense. I like the way Morrison plays. He's aggressive. He's tough. He's physical. And you're right. If he doesn't play, they'll miss him without question. But somebody else like Enzalone or somebody's got to step up in that position because certainly on that defense with that terrific secondary and what looks like a halfway decent front four, if they play four, they have a pretty good defense, and he would be the heart and soul. So if he can get 3 or 4 games, into the season and get Antonio Morrison, I think he'd take it right now.
The Mike is definitely an important position on the defensive side of the ball, pretty much the quarterback of the defense. And so I think that it'll be missed, but I think that some guys will step up. And with the experience in that secondary and that front looking as good as it's going to be, as good as it looks like it could be, I think that the leadership will be missed, but the athletic ability of another player to step up, I think, will be something that we can look forward to. Let me ask you this. Florida doesn't know who's going to play quarterback, Will Greer or Treon Harris. Thank you, Treon Harris. But so we're all wondering who's going to play quarterback. But actually, that's the theme all through the SEC. Where have the quarterbacks gone?
Yeah. I mean, look, I was sitting this morning preparing a piece on the quarterbacks on Southern Pigskin for later today, and you look at this. Look out front of the stadium. What do you see in the front of Ben Hill Griffin? I still call it Florida Field. Out front,
Tim Tebow, quarterback, Steve Spurrier, and Danny Werfel.
All 3 quarterbacks. It's an iconic position at the University of Florida. Who is that going to be? We know the story of the quarterback situation in recent years. One of them now plays down in Louisiana, as a matter of fact. A guy they had great high hopes for. And talking to and spending 15 minutes in a group with the guy that's going to probably be the quarterback. We'll see whether or not he actually Will Greer becomes that guy. I kind of got the feeling a little bit, and Tom, you've been in the huddle most of the time, defense, played the position in high school. You have to have a presence in the huddle. You got to look your guys in the eye and say, we're going to do this, and they got to believe you. When you say, all right, it's 4th down, we're going to get this, And Will Greer might not have that just yet, but he's got a little something about him I like. A little bit of cockiness and swagger. And he's a physically a stronger kid, and he throws the ball pretty good. So Will Greer is going to step into the position where, quarterback Hugh is, where you've got 3 statues out front. So there's a lot of pressure on a kid who hasn't played that before. But I get the feeling he's going to be the guy they pick on opening day. Unless, of course, injuries change that. So I think it's going to happen. He's the guy.
Well, the uncertain. You've followed this game a long time. You've followed the SEC a long time. When was the last time you saw this much uncertainty at so many programs inside the SEC at the key position of quarterback?
I don't think I've ever seen it. And I think one of the reasons is we didn't have graduate transfers. Everybody's looking for a graduate transfer. You got it coming from both sides. You got the graduate transfer and the red shirts, and you got the new recruits coming in, whatever. And, look, here's the deal. isn't it difficult to really grasp this concept? Jacob Coker, or as they call him, Jake Alabama, he's a senior. A senior.
Yeah.
I mean, he hadn't played yet, you know.
He was supposed to play last year and got beat out by Sims.
And of course, started at Florida State. And Jameis Winston beat him out and he transferred. So this guy is a senior. Came at the university with a lot of promise. And you look all around the league, you know, quarterback is a position solid at Arkansas. It's obviously solid at Tennessee. It's not solid. It's in Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. Kentucky's is pretty well solid. Vanderbilt, I don't even know. There's at least half the teams that are still don't know who their quarterback's going to be, as you point out. And that's why when you have a Matty Mouth, you always got a chance, you know, someone that you can, you know, you rely upon a quarterback with experience and lead people. So you're right. It's been a long time. If ever this many teams have had an opening day coming up with a quarterback position, the guys will just pencil in. And we'll have to see how that shapes up.
Well, in a game where at the NFL level, quarterback if you don't have a good quarterback, you don't have a football team that's a winning football team on a regular basis. But in college, Alabama has a lot of questions at quarterback. Yet they're still in the top 5. Is quarterback is it as important in college as it is in the pros, or is it the coaches and the system in college that are more important?
If you got Nick Chubb, it's not quite so important, you know.
You got the running attack at Arkansas; it's probably not as important.
Yeah. If you're at South Carolina, it's important, and apparently McElwain's offense is really important. Yeah, I think it's important. I think you can play quarterback back in. And Spurrier has already said he'll probably play 2 quarterbacks. I think McElwain will play 2 quarterbacks. There may be more 2 quarterbacks this year than we've seen in a while. Except at those schools that we just mentioned. Auburn looks like Jeremy Johnson's a real deal, but he hasn't played a complete season. He looks like he might be great, 6'5". You know, he's not Cam Newton, as he points out. But you're right. It's a lot of question marks about quarterbacks. Hey, I wanted to tell you, Tom, of all the players to watch this year, we talked about a few, right? We talked about Trevon Boykin and Nick Chubb and whatever.
Right.
I'll tell you one to watch. Laquan McGowan. You ready for this? Why, you say?
Yeah, who is Laquan McGowan?
A tight end at Baylor, 6'7", 392.
What?
6'7", 392, tight end, and Art Brown says he slimmed down.
Luke's looking him up right now. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He plays it.
Laquan McGowan.
End.
Look him up.
So what you're saying is an offensive tackle is playing tight end. A huge offensive tackle.
Yeah, a big offensive tackle.
Yeah, a huge offensive tackle.
Yeah. Well, usually big defensive
my
tackle.
goodness.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a photo of this guy right now. Oh, my goodness. And he's like you said, he the pictures I'm looking at him, he was 410 in those pictures. So he has slimmed down.
Slimmed down.
Slimmed down. He's lost 20
so
pounds.
That's one. You can imagine what you could do. We're talking about the refrigerator Perry playing tight end for him, right?
No. Remember, when you go back and look at William Perry was 317 pounds when he was thought to be gargantuan. Yeah. That's the average size of a lineman now.
But you don't look at him in the backfield very often that big. So
but
he lined up and took the snap.
Good
and scored a
night.
touchdown.
392 pounds, 6'7", tight end. Where's the 80? Got an 80 on his chest.
Yeah, that's a big stretch 80, too. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a big one. Now, I just kind of went down my notes and was preparing. I saw that. So, man, I got to mention that. And, you know, name me a quarterback that really hasn't gotten a mention or a breath of somebody who has a pretty good thing going on. This guy is a potential first-round draft choice. He's thrown 32 more touchdowns than he has interceptions the last 2 years. And he doesn't even get a mention. And he's a senior quarterback. He doesn't play I'll tell you where he played, the Big Ten. Have any idea?
No idea.
Senior quarterback. You know, we're so focused on the 3 quarterbacks at Ohio State, we forget they have other guys around the league. And I mentioned to them, you'll say, oh, yeah, Connor Cook from Michigan State.
Oh, yeah, from Michigan State.
Yeah, like I said, you just say, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Pretty good little quarterback, you know. And so watch him. He's a guy that might gotten overlooked.
They open up against Oregon at home. An Oregon team that has some questions at quarterback because the number 1 draft pick, number 2 overall pick, gone.
Wait a minute. You don't think Vernon Adams is as good as Marcus Mariota?
I have no idea. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
By the way, he played 3 years at Eastern Washington. So
here's the problem. Here's the problem with him, buddy.
10,000 yards he threw for him.
Here's the problem with that, though, buddy.
Yeah, it's Eastern Washington.
He's a graduate transfer. Right, but there's a question on whether he's got enough credits to actually have graduated or not.
Well, there you go.
I heard that this morning coming in. Arnie Spanier was talking that the problem, they were talking to a CBS college guy, and he's not even on campus at Oregon yet because there's some controversy on whether he actually graduated or not from Eastern Washington.
Well, that means Jeff Lucky gets the job then, I guess. So, what a drop off. Marcus Mariota to Jeff Lucky. By the way, from all reports we gotten out of the NFL camp, Mariota is lighting it up.
That's what I heard. Really lighting it up. He's doing great. We're going to actually hear Mike DiRocco. We heard a little bit of him in Southern Pigskin tonight. We're going to hear the whole interview from Mike DiRocco a little later in the show, talking about second-year guy Blake Bortles and how well he's doing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, buddy, you're going to have a column later about quarterbacks in the SEC.
Yeah, about quarterbacks at Florida.
Quarterbacks at Florida.
Yeah, what is the position it's been over the years, and who are the guys? And we'll hear from them next week on Southern Pigskin. I've got interviews with both of them, and we'll hear from both the candidates, Treon Harris as well. And we'll. I've got to get in there a little bit about Nash Greer, who's a YouTube sensation and a brother of Will Greer. Will Greer, not even the most famous Greer in his family. If you ask any 14-year-old who's ever been on YouTube, they'll know what you mean. So that, and then don't forget now, next Tuesday, Tom, we've got a PGA a roundtable with some of our friends joining us. We're going to have, hopefully, Joe Donnelly will be there with us.
No, Joe Donnelly's going to be out of pocket that day, so it'll be Mike Cooney, the head of the head of golf over at Golden Oak.
I love Mike Cooney. The only thing I got against him is he went to school. Other than that, it's fine. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he went to Georgia Southern. Good guy.
That's what I said. No, Mike's a good guy, one of the nicest people. And of course, John Rigger, I got a chance to go and tour yesterday and see the facility out at Adena, and I say, oh my gosh, what a place that is. You see Adena Golf and the Country Club out there, which is now open, and it is spectacular. You saw the picture when you walk in the gate I took, and it's really something. So John Rigger, who will be on the show with us, and Ron Syrek will join us, our buddy Ron Syrek, and possibly Bob Eric for a golf roundtable on Tuesday.
Well, it was announced, the PGA kind of let the cat out of the bag yesterday, late last night, when it released its poster of the PGA Championship at Whistling Straits, and it had Jordan Spieth on it. It had Zach Johnson on it, and Rory McIlroy. Their three pictures. Rory sent out a couple of vines yesterday of him working out, standing on the bad ankle and throwing a medicine ball, just standing on the bad ankle. So it looks like Rory McIlroy at Whistling Straits for the PGA Championship.
It's 50-50. Call Vegas and find out. So let's see for sure. I've got my doubts he'll actually play. That was probably sent out before all this. But we'll see. Hopefully he will play. And I'm looking forward to seeing the PGA as well. So
5 weeks ago he tore his ankle up, but he says he's ready to play.
Yeah. Well, good luck on that. I wouldn't rush it back if I was him. He's got too much future, so to miss a PGA, he has to. So.
All right, buddy. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday.
Thank you, Tom.
Buddy Martin, Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports page, and BuddyMartin.com, BuddyMartinMedia.com. We're going to take a break. Coming up next, you'll hear the entire interview with ESPN's Jacksonville Jaguar reporter Mike DiRocco right here on the Saturday Sports page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When we buy a vacation, we're also buying a story. So even if the happiness bump from a vacation is long over, when we retell the story of how a pickpocket took our phone in Cabo, we get a happiness boost. Because with every sunburn, we're speeding up the skin aging process. When we skip the burns and apply sunscreen every day, we slow skin aging by up to 25%. Research shows that our biggest diet mistake is usually alcohol.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. Later in the show, we're going to talk about the inductees into the Hall of Fame and a big faux pas, in my opinion, made by the Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as it is the Hall of Fame weekend. Inductees going into the Hall today. The Steelers and the Vikings playing the Hall of Fame game tomorrow night. Getting ready for the NFL season. The Jacksonville Jaguars just up the road, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. They're covered by Mike DiRocco of ESPN. Mike DiRocco joined us earlier this week on Buddy's Sports Page to talk about where the Jaguars are, what the expectations are, and how Blake Bortles is coming along in his second year. Here's Mike DiRocco of ESPN.
It looks like the Jaguars had a little tough luck already this year with Dante Fowler. Now we hear the possibility that their star receiver in the draft a couple of years ago won't ever come back. When will the cloud ever lift in Jacksonville for the Jaguars? Mike DiRocco, you cover this team. Is there any better news?
Bad news today with Marquise Lee going out with a hamstring, and not sure how long he's going to be out. But I think that's probably the only negative that's come out of camp so far. I think they've been pleased with what they've seen from Bortles and from some of the offensive players, including the free agents, Julius Thomas, defensively, Dan Scoot, Jared Odrick. So I think there's a little bit of optimism here. I don't expect Marquise Lee to be out very long. So,
hey, Mike, we're going to have to call you back. We got a bad connection there. So if we don't mind, we'll call you right back, okay? We're not hearing you very well. Call you right back. All right.
Mike DeRocco. We had a bad connection with Mike there. We'll get him back on the phone. And Tom, do you look and see who they got for the NFC East? Is their division in play?
NFC South.
NFC South?
I believe it's the South with Tampa Bay, Atlanta.
They do have the Giants in there because that's an exhibition game, so the preseason game, so it doesn't really matter. But starting on the first opening day, this is the 13th. It opens late this year, you know. They start out with the Panthers, of course, and then the schedule. I'll go over the schedule with Mike. But they got the Bucks. They got let's see, the Ravens. Anyway, let's go back to the phone lines. Then joining the program with us is Mike DeRocco, ESPN in Jacksonville, who covers the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have had a bit of a tough start, and I guess not too good of news today, Mike.
No, they're another hamstring injury for wide receiver Marquise Lee. They're not sure of the severity yet, but I don't think it's anything too major. He is probably not going to practice on Thursday. That's really been the only negative thing that's come out of camp. They've been pleased with Bortles so far. They've been pleased with some of the offensive free agents that signed. Jeremy Parnell, the right tackle. Julius Thomas, Stefan Wisniewski, and you know, so there's a little bit of optimism around here, and you know they've got a lot of receivers in camp that they feel good about. So it hurts to have not have Marquise Lee there, but they feel like they're going to be okay. You know, it's so early in camp that even if he's out for a couple of weeks, it's not an issue.
Mike, Bortles was a very interesting choice, as we know last year. We talked about him quite a bit in the offseason. He's a big, strapping guy who had some success. He stands tall in the pocket. A lot of people like his release. The question is, how much has he progressed in the mental side of the game and also the leadership qualities? I know you've seen some, but not a lot. Where do you think Blake Bortles is right now?
Leadership-wise, it's not an issue. I mean, he pretty much won that team over pretty quickly last year. You know, especially at the end of the season in the Tennessee game when he played hurt and made a couple of big runs there to help him win that game. So that's not an issue. He's done a really good job of spending time figuring this offense out over the offseason. You know, we talk about all the stuff he did mechanically, but he spent a lot of time in the playbook, and he feels a lot more comfortable in this offense and learning this offense and the process of learning the offense than he did last year as a rookie. So, you know, they're excited about him and where he is in terms of his progression in that. You know, he's a guy that you know, I think from what I've seen, he's been much more consistent. He throws the ball better. The ball comes out of his hand a lot better than it did, especially in minicamp and the early part of training camp last year. So I don't think there's any question in terms of him knowing the offense and getting everything done. It's just a matter of, you know, gaining more experience and making sure that those mechanical changes, you know, he does them enough so that they become second nature to him. A lot like what Tim Tebow went through with his throwing motion. You know, you throw it one way for most of your life, it's kind of hard to change it right away.
Yeah, he does seem to have all the throws, so he throws the ball across the field beautifully, as several times last year. The question is the casts around him. Now we're hearing Blackman may not ever come back, which is not good news. Gus Bradley is a defensive coach. By all accounts, people think he's a heck of a football coach. Haven't seen the results of that yet. How good is this defense going to be, and can it be a team that can it help carry this team?
Well, I think there's two guys that they signed in free agency that are going to make a significant difference for this defense. And one is Jared Odrick, the defensive end from the Miami Dolphins, who was expendable, I guess, in the Dolphins' eyes when they signed Ndamukong Suh. Now, they put Odrick out at the big end spot, and he can play inside a tackle, has played inside a tackle before, so he's decent, pretty solid against the run, but he also brings some pass rushing to that spot, which they didn't have last year with Red Bryant. You know, 12.5 sacks in Miami. The Dolphins really didn't use him right the last year or so there. I think he's a better fit outside at end, and I think he's going to be a guy that's really going to be a productive player for them. And the other guy is Dan Scooter, an outside linebacker, who played rush the passer in San Francisco, played as a 4-3 linebacker, so he's, you know, got some experience in both. They like his athleticism. He's probably more athletic than I think even they thought. And they're going to use him as a pass rusher at times as well. So now they've got some versatility there with him that can help fill some different holes there. So I think they've got a chance obviously we have to see how soon Derek Marks comes back with the ACL. But if he comes back and, by the middle of the season, he's, at least 75-80% of what he was last year, then this defense is going to be pretty solid against the run. They need to start making more plays against the pass. That's been the issue. There haven't been a lot of plays made by the corners and the safeties, and that's got to change.
It's been a long time since there's been any success in Jacksonville. There's as they say, a long time between drinks of water. The Jaguars had the success with Coughlin. It's fallen off a little bit on tough times recently, although they were a little competitive 3 or 4 years ago. The question becomes is how long will Jacksonville Jaguar fans wait? And then looking at this looks like a schedule that could be conducive to a halfway decent season. When I say that, I mean 8, 9, 10 win. I don't know. Where do they fall in there? And of all these games on here, you got New England. That's going to be a loss, obviously. Baltimore will probably be a loss. But there's winnable games in there too. Indianapolis might be tough. New Orleans has been down. Atlanta's been down. Is this the year when they catch lightning in the bottle?
Well, it certainly helps that Arian Foster's out.
Yes.
So that helps them in the division.
Tennessee.
To me, it all hinges on the offensive line. If the offensive line's better, then they'll be more competitive. I think the top end for this team, honestly, is 7 wins. They're still a young team. He's still a second-year quarterback. He's still, he's learning in his third offense in 3 seasons, or he's on his third offense in 3 seasons. It takes time for these guys to kind of gel. And like, I said, that offensive line has been a huge issue. 71 sacks last year. Led the NFL franchise record, so that's got to change. But, there are winnable games on here. I think the biggest thing for the Jaguars, they've had 25 losses the last 2 seasons, and 19 of them have been by double digits.
Wow,
10 in 2013, 9 last year. They can't be doing that again. They have to be competitive in those games. And if you get 6 wins, there are different kinds of 6 and 10s. There's 6 and 10 where you're competitive in a lot of games and you're just a player or 2 away, or you make a couple of mistakes at the end of the games, but you're in the game late into the 4th quarter. And there are 6 and 10s where you're getting your doors blown off. And the Jaguars need to be in these games. They need to be more competitive. I think that is the biggest thing. If they're competitive and they're not getting their doors blown off, they'll steal a win here or there. And all of a sudden you're looking at 6, 7 wins. Then you go into year 4 of the rebuild. Then you can start talking 9, 10 wins, playoffs, I think would be legitimate.
All right, so you're saying 6 or 7 wins probably right now for the Jaguars is realistic. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, for 2015, I think so, yes.
Yeah. We got a 10-second question for you. What's going on with head coach and the general manager, Bradley and Caldwell? Are they going to be able to get along with each other?
Yeah, actually, we were talking about that with somebody the other day. They feed off each other really, really well. Bradley's the motivational sports psychologist, guy, and Dave is the more level-headed evaluator, that kind of thing. So they have their personalities mesh very, very well together. But as we all know, the bottom line is wins. They've got to get some wins. And if they get wins, then they can coexist. If they don't get wins, then they may not be able to coexist.
It's all about the W's in Jacksonville. Mike, appreciate it very much. Mike DeRocco, ESPN, covers the Jaguars. All right, Mike, thank you very much.
Like Buddy said, that was Mike DeRocco of ESPN in Jacksonville with some, words that seem optimistic for Jacksonville. It looks like that this would be the year where they make the change from winning 3 or 4 games to winning 7 or 8 games. And next year, according to Mike DeRocco, will be the year where they look to make the playoffs in the NFL. We're going to take a break. Coming up next, we'll talk about the Hall of Fame. It's this weekend. The inductions are today. Ceremonies are today. The game is tomorrow. We'll talk about the people that are getting inducted and why the Hall of Fame missed. I'll tell you about that next, right here on the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source. Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Are you looking for a durable farm fence to keep your horses enclosed or a beautiful vinyl fence to give that finishing touch to your home? Seminole Fence has over 20 years of experience in providing quality fence products and services for farm and residential properties. Let them surround your property with a fence that provides privacy, security, and stunning appeal. Don't wait. Contact them today at 352-208-0959 for a free estimate. Seminole Fence, working hard to build fences and harder to build relationships. Do you remember when summer was a celebration? You know, no schools, no worries, just days packed with your favorite pastime. It was the splendid season you dreamed of all year long. But as you got older and busier, the summer seemed to lose its sparkle. Where did those carefree days go? Well, they're closer than you think. Summer's still sensational at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, where you can come out and play the grown-up way with our affordable summer memberships. Enjoy our championship golf course celebrating the game's greatest holes, hard-true tennis courts, and a state-of-the-art fitness center. Explore our stately 77,000-square-foot clubhouse and unwind at our relaxing spa.
Don't forget the pool!
It's a summer unlike any other, and it's yours with a Golden Ocala summer membership. You can call Golden Ocala at 629-6229 to inquire about a summer membership, or you can visit goldenocala.com to learn more. That's goldenocala.com. Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Page. It is the Hall of Fame game weekend. It's going to be in Canton, Ohio. And the inductees this week, they're doing the inductions actually tonight. The inductions are, let me get it, I got the list right here in front of me. Jerome Bettis, Junior Seau. Who else is going in? Junior Seau, Tim Brown, wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders. Charles Haley, defensive end for the 49ers and the Cowboys. He's got 5 Super Bowl rings. Will Shields, who played guard for the Kansas City Chiefs for a long, long time. Mick Tingelhoff, played from 62 to 78 for the Minnesota Vikings. And then Bill Polian and Ron Wolf, both front office guys that did superb jobs in the NFL. Jerome Bettis, the bus, it's no argument he's going in. Tim Brown deserves it as a wide receiver. Charles Haley, 5 Super Bowl rings with the Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco Giants. Will Shields, guard, played a long time. He went to 12 Pro Bowls. Mick Tingelhoff was a seniors committee selection. He was a 6'2", 240-pound center. he'd be, a middle linebacker now. He started an incredible 259 consecutive games. Only Brett Favre and Jim Marshall played more consecutive games, and this guy played center, so that's a great mark. But Junior Seau goes in, and Seau's, had suicide after football was tragic, but if you remember this guy played linebacker, and he was incredible. So he is going in, and his daughter was going to speak, and then they said she wasn't. Now it looks like she's going to speak, but the Hall of Fame put out a banner. The Hall of Fame put out a banner, and you got to change. What I'm telling you, Luke, is music's got to go in there where Pine Oaks is. That's what I'm telling you. We're doing a little housekeeping here for the radio. Sorry, folks, I had to get that given to Luke. He was not. My note wasn't good enough. So I had to tell him. Sorry about that. But the Hall of Fame put out a banner, and it's got all the inductees' pictures in the banner. And people are angry about this banner, as they should be, because the banner has all the inductees on it, and the ones in their football uniforms that played for it. It's got Bettis in a Steelers uniform. It's got Tim Brown in a Raiders uniform. It's got Will in a Chiefs uniform, Tingelhoff in a Vikings uniform. It's got Junior Seau, who was a standout for 13 seasons with the San Diego Chargers, played 3 seasons with the Miami Dolphins, and then finished his career up with the New England Patriots. The Hall of Fame has Junior Seau in a New England Patriots uniform. San Diego Charger fans took to Twitter and are livid, as they should be. Junior Seau was a Charger. He may have played with the Patriots. He may have played with the Dolphins. But Junior Seau is a Charger, a San Diego Charger. And for the Hall of Fame to put him on the poster, on the banner, in a Patriots uniform is another slap in the face after they already tried not to let his daughter talk at the induction and everything. The Hall of Fame has screwed the Junior Seau thing up the entire way. And they didn't get it any better by putting him in on the banner in a New England Patriots uniform. Are you kidding me? But at least it is football season, so enjoy the Hall of Fame inductions today. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. I'd like to thank my guest, Buddy Martin. For Luke Sylvia, the intern, I'm Tom Schmitz, saying have a great weekend, everybody.
Whenever you're searching for an attorney, you want somebody with knowledge who has a commitment to our community and our state. Such is the case with Daniel L. Hightower, PA lawyer, in everything from car and other motor vehicle accidents, work accidents, personal injury, and wrongful death cases. Daniel L. Hightower also handles Social Security disability and bankruptcy. Call him today at 352-629-7777 or check out danhightower.com. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for accident victim justice since 1970.